everyone, this is Archive of 12, and today we're bringing something special. This is Divide's remaster of a song that he curated 5 years ago when he had just started his journey into Dragon Ball and watching Dragon Ball Super and starting with Battle of Gods. This is his remaster of his song God about Beerus featuring Fabvl. Poor Divide's been suffering from a lack of a voice for a little bit, so he hasn't been able to produce anything new, but this was probably the first, this is the second song, I take that back. His Kirishima song was his first song. This was the second song that I ever heard from Divide, and this happened long before I started reacting to him. So, reacting to anybody, really. Divide was the very first artist that I ever reacted to with his first Vegeta song, Say My Name. And I wish I had been reacting while I was listening to God, because it's one of my most listened to Divide music songs. And I'm so happy, honestly, that I get to react to the remaster. And obviously I'm going to make some commentary because I know this song. But I am very much looking forward to seeing what he's done to this. I'm expecting something along the levels of, it's not just cleaned up. I'm expecting something probably along the lines of what Fabvl did with his Beerus song, Fake Crowns Reborn, where there might be some audio changes and stuff like that. I know that this is the first song that Fabvl screamed on. Like, this is because I remember distinctly there were a lot of reactors who were like, I didn't know he could do that. So like, this is a big moment for both Divide and for Fabvl in their music careers, because this is when Fabvl kind of opened that door to the style that we are now familiar with. And also this was the first time that Divide ever touched Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball in general. So like, that's a big thing. Also, can I just say that this artwork, that is one of the coolest pieces of artwork for Beerus that I have ever seen. Like, hands down, this is just so fitting for a song of this title. Anyway, link will be in the description below if you want to watch this without my commentary, because we'll be pausing or we'll be talking about it. And also down below is a link to my Patreon, where I'm reacting to Dragon Ball Daima alongside a variety of other anime over there on my Patreon. So if you want to see longer form reaction videos similar to this, but about full anime episodes, go check that out. And without further ado, let's get started. I'm hoping the Martin Luther King quotes that he puts at the beginning and end of this song made it into the remaster. I imagine they did, because they were a big part of what set the tone for the original. Okay, they did, yeah. I like that picture too. Oh. Okay, I know that I wish I had been part of the live streams that Divide was doing when he was doing this remaster. They were always happening while I was at work, and although I am in his Divide Music Elite Discord, in fact, I'm one of the mods there, I unfortunately was not able to attend those specific live streams because I was at work, unfortunately. But I would have loved to, if he was able to talk, I would have loved to pick his brain about like the thought process of going through this song specifically when he was first making it. And maybe if he sees this video, he can answer this question. But like, how did he go about crafting this song and using the quotes that he did at the beginning and the end? Like, I want to know like how that came about. Like what ultimately inspired him to go this route as opposed to any other route when it came to tackling this? Because I know that he was pretty new to Dragon Ball at the time when he wrote God the first time, and so I imagine that it was pretty much just focused exclusively on Battle of Gods. But I would still like to know, like, what he was thinking when he was going through this, and also what he's thinking remastering it. Like, how can he change it so it's the same but better? You know what I mean? Because I don't know if he's going to change any lyrics now that we know more about Beerus since Dragon Ball Super came out. I don't know if he's altered the lyrics at all. I don't know if he's done anything besides just edit the instrumental. But if he has done any additional recordings for the vocals, I'm kind of curious as to like what his thought process was to change that a little bit.
Awoken from a slumber, what was I? What was I
Too far. Welcome in.
me home? But there is one of a kind.
Judgment come.
I am destruction and your world is done. See, I decide your fate under my thumb. Once I have spoken, you can't overcome. If someone thinks that they can change my mind, you best be worthy to waste my time. Show no mercy, but if I can find the same God amongst the kind, when I have found the answer, I think I will challenge them to see if they are truly deserving of this title they breathe.
Okay, so one thing that I was thinking as I was listening to this was the way the instrumental has changed. It's more precise. It's more like staccato. It's more sudden. Like the ending of the percussions don't linger at all. It's just like instant. It makes it sound so much more impactful. But at the same time, conversely, most of the rest of the instrumental has a slight, including his vocals now, has this slight like echo about it, which makes it seem almost the word that's coming to mind. I don't know if it's the accurate word that you'd want to use, but the word that's coming to mind for me is ethereal. Like it makes it feel like it's being sung by an angel. And honestly, I feel like the title God, this is where the joke divine music came from, was from this song. And he's living up to that right now. Like the way that he's singing with the slight like reverb or echo in his vocal performance, and the way that the song itself sounds more. I don't even know exactly how to properly describe it. Like the words that are coming to my mind, I don't know if they're accurate, but like I want to say just more open, while also with the percussion being significantly cleaner and significantly shorter, which makes it more impactful when it's happening. Like the edits that he has done to these sections are incredible. Everything about this feels so much more like, I guess this is how I imagine God sounding like the song, not necessarily the entity, but this is how I imagine the song sounding in my head when I listen to it. Now I'm actually hearing it. And that's a trip. And I can't even imagine what Fabvl's part sounds like, because this sounds so good. This sounds so much cleaner than the original version.
I am a god among common men. Your very
Ooh.
fate lies in my head.
He must have re-recorded the callbacks, the callback lines, because the tone feels different. Like in the original version, the way when he says things like your fate lies in his hands, it feels like it's more elongated. It feels like it's more sung. Right now, though, it feels more like a response and a statement rather than just like a choir singing along with him. That changes the vibe a little bit in a way that I was not expecting, because I'm so used to hearing the original version where, like, when he sings the chorus, the call like the choir part where he's just repeating what he said, but like, you know, as an accompaniment, where the first part he's singing as Beerus and the second part is like, I guess, we singing or whatever you want to say. Like, that second part felt more like a song. This feels more like a statement, which changes the tone a little bit. It's like, yeah, it's not nearly as fun as it probably sounds. This is real. This is going down. Your fate lies in his hands. I'm just not repeating what he's saying. I'm telling you, you're screwed. It just changes the tone a little bit. That was an interesting piece of art. Ooh. That heavy, like, I know that he had like a piano in the original version that was doing those heavy notes, but it just sounds heavier in this section here where, like, it's just the piano that's there. You hear those deeper notes. They were there before, I believe, but you didn't notice them as much. Here, it adds, like, with how this remaster is structured, it adds a much deeper weight to it. It feels so much heavier, like the ambiance is so much more.
I don't care who you are, it's an honor to be killed by the fists of a god. Beg for mercy, it's my favorite sound coming.
Okay, that was new. The call, the repeat by Fabvl on this, that was not in the original. Again, that just the little tweaks there, change things significantly.
Fist of a god. Beg for mercy, it's my favorite sound coming from a planet built on misery. Find amusement in your improvement. I'm feeling like I'm about to lose it. Divine and ruthless, I'm looking for an equal movement. Something to do with a saying power that's been proven amongst these humans. I feel it blooming. Power levels never match, that's a fact. Burn it to the ground and I'm never looking back. So no mercy once the opposition crack. Wage me up, all these mortals make me love. I will never be the one to take the high road. If you have accepted me, then it's final. Out of me, I'm a god, I'm an idol. Searching for the one that's someday
I like how that ending part made it seem like Beerus was the one who was screaming the vocals.
If you have accepted me, then it's final. Out of me, I'm a god, I'm an idol. Searching for
Like right here, it just makes it seem like Beerus is the one that's screaming this out. That's so funny to me. Fabvl's part feels so good. It's like before, because it was the first time that we had ever heard him, we were all taken aback by it. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't even know he was capable of doing that. If he had done that before, very few people had ever heard it. And so, like, when he finally pulled this out of pocket and just started screaming on a Divide Music metal track while rapping in the process, like, everybody was shocked. Now we kind of expect that, and I kind of feel bad because I feel like this should be something like this should be treated as a special occasion. And Fabvl has made it his brand, and there's not really anything wrong with that, but I do believe it has taken away some of that shock value that we originally had with God. God, like, was like amazing because of the fact that it was the first time that we'd ever heard Fabvl do that. And I feel that this reinvention of this song has kind of like put that re-inspiration, that's not the right word. It's put that feeling that Fabvl gave us the first time back into the song. Obviously we knew it was coming, but the one thing that I can say right now is that I feel like because Fabvl's done it so often now, and because he's evolved it into becoming one of his primary styles of doing songs, it has evolved into its own animal and now feels so much better than it did when he first did it, because he has made it his own. That is just what he does. I feel like because of that, this feels more impactful than the first time, not because the first time wasn't shocking, because it absolutely was, but because it feels more like what we're used to with Fabvl. And that's where him turning it into his brand works in his favor. Like, while I personally believe it should still be something that he did every once in a while rather than every single song, I do believe because he's done it in every single song, it has allowed him to evolve what shocked us before into something that sounds so amazing that it's able to shock us again. That may have been kind of confusing, but my takeaway is that while personally I kind of wish that his screaming vocals were not a regular thing that we could expect from a Fabvl song, because it's allowed him to transform what was essentially just going to be another Fabvl verse at this point into essentially what he did with Fake Crowns Reborn, which was redesign it so that it's the same style, but it sounds better. And he kind of did that the same thing with Break My Heart Again as well, because everybody knew that he was definitely going to scream when it came to a Dobby song. We just didn't know exactly what it was going to make us feel, and it made us feel something. This makes me feel something. Most Fabvl songs, they don't, like, they make me feel something, but because I expect it, I'm like, I am expecting to know what I'm going to feel. With this one, it actually makes me feel a little afraid, which is what the first version of God made me feel when Fabvl first busted this out, was afraid. Like, legit fear and terror. Like, I genuinely believe that if Fabvl was Beerus, he was going to destroy us. He's brought that energy back. And I honestly didn't think he was going to be able to do that. Now, I wasn't saying that I really doubted that he wasn't going to sound great, but I wasn't sure if he was going to make me feel the same way that I did the first time I heard the song. And sure enough, he did. What, like, I think the final note, I'll let that play out, but I'm going to mute it. I think the final note I want to say about this before I wrap this reaction up is that I am so thankful that the way that Divide decided to mix this allowed us to hear I believe it's Martin Luther King that said those lines, allowed us to hear those MLK lines so much better, because what that did for the first song was incredible. However, I know some people had a hard time hearing it if they weren't listening to it with like really good headphones. I know that like when I watched Keggy Film's reaction to it, he commented that he didn't really fully understand what was being said the first time around. I think he kind of understood it the second time, but the way that Divide had mixed this version allowed him to make those lines, those vocal pieces from MLK stand out against the audio, which I feel like was so important because they set the tone for the first version of this. And it would have been a travesty if they once again got lost in the audio. So I'm really glad that, like, because of the way he decided to remaster this, it allowed it to stand out and really make really like define the song again. Honestly, it's basically what it did. But anyway, that's going to be it for me. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for joining me. I am Mark Alpha 12, and I will see you in the next video.